The galaxy was not at war. Not anymore. After centuries of blood and broken planets, the Galactic Council had brought peace to most of the known systems. Species who once hated each other now sat at the same table. Words had replaced weapons. Deals had replaced death. Earth was new to all this. Young species, a latecomer, but they had learned fast. Humans watched the stars for 100 years before they dared to speak. When they finally did, they spoke with calm, with logic and with an open hand, so the Council allowed it. They invited Earth to send one ambassador, single voice, to speak for the entire planet, a peaceful gesture. A test Earth sent ambassador. Kalana calm, smart man. Trained in 100 languages, both human and alien. Respected, honest, and brave enough to travel alone into unknown space. His ship, the Dawn Seeker, left Earth's orbit in silence. Billions watched the live stream. Children waved from rooftops. Elders prayed, and then ... nothing. 3 days after entering Council space, the Dawn Seeker went dark. No signals, no distress call, no wreckage, just ... gone. At first the Council said, it was a technical error, a glitch. Ships lose contact sometimes, but Earth knew better. They had spent decades preparing for this journey. Every system on the ambassador's ship had backups. Even the backups had backups. And still, nothing. Earth waited for a day, then another, then a week. The Council sent a message. We will investigate. But they didn't. A second message came. There is no sign of the Dawn Seeker. No explanation. No help. No answers. Then Earth noticed something strange. A small whisper began spreading across the outer colonies through smugglers, traders, and spies. The ambassador didn't vanish. He was taken. Zarlan elite did at one of the core races. They wanted to send Earth a message. Stay in your place. But Earth did not scream, did not cry, did not beg. It went silent. All human research ships returned home. All alien embassies on Earth were quietly closed. All communication was cut off, except a single message. The mission is complete. Earth will no longer participate in galactic Council affairs. The Council laughed behind closed doors. Some called Earth Week. Others called them smart for walking away. But no one understood the silence. They didn't know that behind Earth's quiet face, something was changing in deep space. Earth's black budget stations began moving. Factories hidden on asteroids lit up. Old War AI, never used, suddenly activated. Humans didn't speak, but they built and built and built. They built ships no one had seen before. Weapons that didn't fire lasers, but manipulated. Gravity, defense systems that could destroy fleets. Before being seen, Earth didn't prepare for war. It prepared for erasure, and yet the galaxy went on as if nothing had happened. Council meetings continued. Trade flowed. New colonies were approved. Species who didn't like humans felt safe again. Problem, they thought, had solved itself. But far away in the shadows of dead moons, human scouts watched everything. They saw who spoke against Earth. They marked who laughed. They tracked the Zarlan elite. They listened, and they waited. 5 years passed. The name Ambassador Callan was almost forgotten. Until one day, one simple, clear message reached the Galactic Council's central system. No ship was detected, no origin found, just a voice, calm, cold, human. You took one of ours. We will take everything. No further message followed. No signature, no location, just silence. The council debated for hours. Some said it was a joke. Others said it was a threat. The Zarlan leaders demanded an apology from Earth. But Earth never responded. And that silence, colder than any weapon, sent a chill through every species. The galaxy didn't know it yet. ... But a storm had begun. Not loud, not messy, but slow, cold, and final. And in the middle of it was Earth silent, angry, building something terrible. And while the galaxy watched in silence, Earth planned its revenge. Not with words, but with Extinction. The galaxy Expected Earth to speak again. It didn't. Not after the message. Not after the warning. Not after the name. Ambassador Callan echoed through council space one last time. There was no follow-up. No demand. No fleet at the gates, only silence at first. Most species thought Earth had given up. Empty threat, they said. Humans are emotional creatures. Always loud, always dramatic. But this time, Earth wasn't loud. It was cold and very, very quiet. Months passed. Alien ambassadors tried to reach Earth's government. They received automatic responses. Channel closed. No diplomatic interest. Human colonies on distant planets once filled with trade and alien visitors shut. Their ports, no ships in, no ships out. Research stations near black holes went dark. Mining projects stopped reporting. Terraforming sites disconnected from council systems. All communication from Earth stopped. The Galactic Council's top analysts tried to map human activity. But every time they tried to scan Earth's space, they found nothing to clean. Too silent. Too. Planned Council command believed Earth had isolated itself. Some praised the decision. Good, said the Zarlon elite. They've gone back into hiding. But a few senior strategists felt something else. They didn't see weakness. They saw precision. Earth wasn't hiding. It was erasing its trail. One admiral from the Drax Republic said it best. When predators stop growling, it's not peace. It's the start of the hunt. Still, most of the galaxy moved on. New species applied to join the council. Old rivalries returned. Wars were being whispered again in the outer rings, and Earth stayed quiet, until a strange report came in. A mining vessel from the Velnari Empire drifted too close to Saturn. Their goal: salvage metal from Titan's orbit, but instead of rocks, they found structures, massive factories, black steel towers with no lights, no windows, no signs of life. And yet, the machines were moving. Giant cranes assembling parts that no one could recognize, long tubes spinning at impossible speed. Power readings higher than any known tech. The Velnari ship tried to scan deeper. Just once, that was enough. In a flash of white light, the vessel shut down. All systems fried. No escape pods. No signals. The ship drifted dead and cold. The only survivor. Backup drone escaped just before destruction. It carried a short recording. One image, one voice. The image, a strange, black ship, no markings. No engine trails. It's shaped like a knife. It's floating silently behind Titan. The voice: do not enter Earth's space again. The council received the drone. Report within hours. Panic started to spread, not because a ship was destroyed, but because Earth never denied it, and no species on the council had ever seen that kind of ship design before. Not even the old war races. It was alien, but it was human. Spies were sent. They didn't return. Scouts flew near the solar system. They vanished. Satellites were deployed. Every feed went black. 1 week later, a single message appeared in the galactic datanet. It came from an unknown node. No signature. We saw you watch our pain. We heard your silence. Now hear ours. Words weren't loud, but they hit like a weapon. The council debated for days. Some demanded Earth be punished. Others wanted to negotiate. Some begged the Zarlan to apologize, to end this before it began, but the Zarlan refused. We don't bend. Two primitives, they said, and Earth said nothing. No demands, no timeline, no threats, just silence. And yet, everywhere in the galaxy, something began to change, in the shadows of moons, in the gaps between stars. In the quiet corners of spaceships were disappearing. Satellites were vanishing. Colonial outposts stopped responding. No explosions. No debris. Just nothing. Gone. Fear grew like fire. Was it Earth? No one knew for sure. But deep down, every species felt the same thing. Earth was no longer part of the galaxy. It had become something else. Something colder. Something far more dangerous. Back on Earth, there were no celebrations, no public speeches, No news broadcasts, just work. Factories ran without end. AI systems made designs no human ever saw. Old war protocols from Earth's darkest days were rewritten. And deep under Antarctica, a machine was activated that had no name, just a purpose. Justice, or as Earth now called it, extinction. Titan's sky had always been orange and quiet. Thick clouds covered the moon. No sun, no stars, just cold winds and silence. But now, something was different. Alien sensors picked up movement. Energy pulses. Machines running deep beneath the ice. Satellites detected large metallic structures orbiting slowly hidden behind Saturn's rings. The Galactic Council called it unusual activity. The humans called it something else. Preparation. The Velnari Empire, the same empire that lost. A scout near Titan sent a stronger force this time. A small fleet of 6 ships. Fast, armed, cloaked. Their mission: find out what Earth is building. Send the data. Leave quietly. They never expected a fight. They had stealth systems. They were cautious. But they didn't know Earth anymore. As the Velnari ships approached Titan's orbit, their sensors lit up strange, flickering readings, one by one. Their systems began to fail. First, navigation errors, then communication. Jamming then, lights off. No weapons fired, no warnings, just a slow, creeping blackout. The Velnari commander, Captain Sarek, tried to pull the ships back, but it was too late. From beneath the thick clouds of Titan, they rose. Black ships, silent. Smooth. No engines, no heat. Their shapes were not like human designs. They looked alien, long, sharp, geometric, like machines made only for war. But the scariest part wasn't their weapons. It was their silence. They didn't announce, didn't lock targets, didn't chase. They just moved. And the Velnari fleet vanished. Council received the emergency ping 2 hours later. No, followed Ash up. No wreckage. No crew. Only one final image taken from a dying drone's last. Camera feed. A black triangular ship passing through space, leaving nothing behind. No light. No engine sound, only a strange blue glow behind it almost. Like a tear in space. Something the Council had never seen before. Something they didn't understand. A meeting was called. Urgent. All species were invited. Zarlan leaders laughed again. Human tricks. They're bluffing. But the Drax Republic was silent now. The Velnari, furious. This is not defense, said their ambassador. This is a threat. Still no one dared strike back. Not without knowing what Earth had built on Titan. And not while those black ships kept appearing, then disappearing. For the first time in 100 years, the Council declared Earth's entire solar system as black zone. No one was allowed to enter. No travel, no scans, no diplomacy Earth had. Become untouchable. But that didn't stop everyone 2 weeks later. A private mercenary ship, hired by the wealthy Kelth, syndicate secretly entered the zone. They believed the stories were exaggerated, that it was just human fear magic, that nothing could beat alien stealth tech. They were wrong. They lasted 6 minutes. Their ship sent a single word before it was destroyed. Eyes. No one ever found out what that meant, but the word haunted the Council. And then something happened that changed everything. A message appeared on the Galactic Net, not from Earth, not from any known relay station. It was encoded using an ancient Council Emergency Protocol 1, only a high-level official could use. The message contained one image, Ambassador Callan's face. His eyes were closed. His body floated in a dark glass chamber, frozen, preserved, and beneath the image. One sentence. We never forget our fallen. No one knew how Earth got the code. No one knew how they got the body. But it was clear now. Ambassador hadn't just vanished. He had been taken, killed, studied, and Earth had found him. and Earth had waited. The Zarlan, elite, once so proud finally, grew quiet because it was them. They had done it. And now Earth had proof, and the galaxy had seen it. Across the outer sectors, smaller species started backing away from the Council, all trade with Zarlan. Space slowed, whispers spread like fire. Earth has eyes everywhere. Titan is no longer a moon, it's a factory of war. The black ships are watching. Don't go near the dead sky. But even then, Earth remained silent. It didn't respond to threats, didn't ask for justice, didn't speak at all, because Earth was not looking for justice anymore. It was looking for balance. And in its eyes, balance meant one thing: extinction. The Galactic Council met in secret. The death of the Velnari fleet. Out. The vanishing mercenaries. The frozen body of Earth's ambassadors shown to the entire galaxy, and still, Earth said nothing. No demand. Number. Accusation. No war declaration, just silence. But everyone knew what was coming. Something dark. Something final. Then it happened. No ships were detected. No signals tracked. No gate was used. Still, message arrived directly inside the Council's most secure chamber. Only 3 people had access to that system. Now, Earth did too. The lights in the room dimmed. Screens shut off. The Council guards reached for weapons, but nothing came. Just a voice. Calm, artificial, human. You were warned once. You stayed silent. So now listen. A hologram lit up. Not of a human, of a name. Zerl. On behind the word. Images began to flash. Secret labs with human DNA. Recordings of Ambassador Callan inside a Zerlan prison. His execution, quiet, cold, and recorded for sport. The Council chamber fell silent. Some members looked away, others cried, and still the voice continued. This is not a threat. This is history. A history your Council helped write. A history we will now correct. The hologram changed. Now it showed a timer, just one number, 0.10 days. Then the message ended. The lights turned. The chamber was silent. No. One breathed. The Council tried to trace the source. They failed. They tried to jam. Earth systems, nothing worked. They even sent a secret delegation to beg for talks. The delegation never returned. Only their ship did. Floating. Empty. No. Blood. No sign of struggle. Just a note inside the airlock. We do not negotiate with liars. Zarlan leaders panicked. They sent fleets to protect their homeworld. 25 warships, 10 planetary shields, 3 dreadnoughts. They believed Earth would send an army. But Earth didn't send ships. Earth sent something else. On day 3 of the countdown, the Zarlan dreadnought Hammerlight vanished from orbit. No alarm. No battle. It was there 1 second, gone the next. Scans showed nothing. Not even wreckage. Gone. Like dust in the wind, the next day a strange signal was picked up across Council space. 1 debt collected, 9 remain. Day 5 panic had reached every corner of the galaxy. Species who once laughed at humans now backed away. Many turned off their communication lines to Earth. Others sent offers of peace, but Earth didn't answer, because Earth had already decided the Zarlan would not survive this. The Council would not remain untouched, and no species that stayed silent would be safe. In the shadows of forgotten space, human AI warships began to awaken. Built in silence, tested in secret, named not for war, but for judgment. Echo. Warden, Ashmaker. Ships without crews, without emotions. Only missions, and the mission was simple. End the ones who ended peace. Back on Earth, no one celebrated. There were no flags, no crowds, no victory speeches. Just focus, just work. Human children were taught what balance meant. Continued without pause. Satellites tracked every Council move, and on a dark moon near Neptune, something massive began to rise from beneath the ice. A weapon. Or something worse. Something old humans once feared to build. Now it had a name. Extinction Protocol. On day 7, the council finally voted split. Half wanted to beg for peace. Half wanted to unite and strike Earth before it was too late. But they were too late, because Earth had never planned a war. Earth had already started one, and the galaxy. The galaxy did nothing except watch, because now they understood. This was not about a single human. This was about what happens when peace dies in silence, and Earth answers with fire. Day 8. The countdown neared its end. Across Zarlan's space, fleets stood ready, defense cannons loaded, drones activated. Shields at full power, the Zarlan elite laughed on their palace moons. Let the humans come, they said. We've crushed bigger threats. But Earth didn't send an army. It didn't send diplomats. It didn't send a warning. It sent judgment. It began with silence. Zarlan's border colonies, 10 of them, went dark within minutes. No explosions. No battles. No signals. Just gone. Entire cities. Vanished. Gone from orbit. Gone from memory. And above the silence, a single signal echoed through space. 1. The price begins. Zarlan Command scrambled. They launched scouts. They armed every warship, but the scouts didn't return, and the warships couldn't find anything. Nothing on sensors. Nothing on radars, because Earth's ships didn't use engines. Anymore, they folded space, moved like shadows, appeared only when they struck. On day 9, the real storm began. Above the Zarlan world Veltar, the skies broke open, not from space, from below. Human ships buried under the ground for years rose into the air black and silent. How did they get there? No one knew. They weren't even ships anymore. They were machines built from ancient human war. I designed for one thing: eliminate without emotion. And that's what they did. Within 4 hours, Veltar was gone, not bombed. Not invaded, just erased, turned to dust. And above the planet, one word burned in holograms across the sky. Callan. Council screamed in panic. Emergency sessions were called. Species begged Zarlan to surrender. Zarlan leaders refused. But by midnight, 12 of their strongest ships vanished without battle. Their last transmissions all said the same thing. No enemy detected. No weapons seen. We're not alone in our own ships. Then silence. Other council species now began to panic. They cut trade with Zarlan, closed their embassies, destroyed evidence of past alliances. But it was too late. Earth had seen, and Earth had already chosen its targets. The Drax Republic tried to send peace offers. A small convoy of diplomats approached Earth's edge near Pluto. The convoy was allowed to pass inside. They found a satellite orbiting in silence. No guns. No engines. Just a recording. They played it. It showed the full execution of Ambassador Callanry, played in slow motion. And beneath it, a voice. Would you ask for peace if it had been one of yours? The diplomats didn't answer. They returned, and the Drax Republic withdrew from the council the next day. But Earth did not slow down, because now Extinction had momentum. Day 10, the final day. The skies above Zarlan Prime were full of fire. Not from war, from fleeing ships, civilians trying to escape, leaders trying to hide. Even their gods were silent then. The sun above Zarlan Prime began to dim. Not naturally. Earth had placed a device near it, something no alien had ever seen. A solar shroud. It blocked light, stole energy, and then collapsed the sun into itself. In under a minute, Zarlan Prime was nothing. Just a black hole. One species. One empire. Gone. Not defeated. Erased. The council received one final message. No voice. No image. Just a line of code translated, it said. One for the ambassador, the rest for the silence. The galaxy broke. Rebellions erupted. Species turned. On each other, some begged Earth for forgiveness. Others hid. But Earth didn't come for them. Not yet, because Earth didn't want rule. It wanted balance. It wanted everyone to remember you took one of ours, took everything of yours. The siege of the stars had ended, but it wasn't a war. It was a message, and the galaxy heard it loud and clear. The Galactic Council. It once ruled over 1,000 systems. From the shining towers of Varric Swan to the fire planets of Corthon, it claimed to bring peace, order, and balance. But now, the council chambers stood nearly empty. Zeralon, gone. Drax Republic withdrawn. Velnari silent. Smaller empires, fleeing into deep space, and Earth, still silent, still watching. After the destruction of Zarlan Prime, panic spread like fire. Entire species began to abandon council space. Former allies blamed each other. Trade collapsed. Border wars returned. The dream of peace was shattered, and all because of one thing, the murder of one man. And the silence that followed inside what was left of the council, arguments turned violent. Some leaders cried for surrender to Earth. Others demanded retaliation. Many begged for protection from something they no longer understood. They tried to vote on a new emergency unity pact. It failed. Too many species had vanished. Too many seats were empty, and too many feared the same question. Who is next? Then Earth sent another message. This time, it wasn't hidden. It wasn't cloaked. It was public broadcast to every world. Black screen, then white letters. One sentence. We are not your enemies. We are your lesson. The message stayed on repeat for 24 hours. No threats, no demands. Just that line. People across the stars panicked, but some paused. They remembered Earth's envoy. They remembered the ignored warnings, the fake reports, the missing recordings, the accidental death, and they saw the truth. Earth didn't strike first. It only finished what others began. Across the mid-level species, revolts began. On Keltar, civilians overthrew the ruling family that once laughed at Earth. On Threxia, soldiers removed their council representatives. On Caroline, people opened hidden files, proof that their leaders had voted to cover up. Callan's murder, the galaxy wasn't just falling apart, it was burning itself clean. Earth never asked them to do this, but it didn't stop them either, because Earth understood something simple. Fear changes leaders. Truth changes the people. Meanwhile, in the shadows of council space, Earth's black ships remained quiet. No more attacks. No, more disappearances. But they were always there, watching, waiting, and every now and then they left small gifts, data logs exposing corruption, names of politicians who sold secrets, coordinates of hidden slave markets run by council officials. Justice, the kind no one had seen before, the kind that didn't ask for permission. The few council members who remained begged Earth for a peace summit, no answer. They sent tribute, no response. They sent fleets to defend key systems. Those fleets returned empty. No battle. No contact. Just silence. And understanding Earth didn't want power. It wanted respect. The kind the council refused to give, till it was too late. Then came the final blow. Earth released the council files. Thousands of documents, recordings, and messages leaked. Across every known system, proof that Zarlan officials had ordered Callan's death. Proof that the council knew. Proof that it had been covered up to protect their own alliance. Suddenly, it all made sense. Why Earth never screamed. Why Earth left the council. Why Earth struck with such silence and precision. Because Earth had waited for the galaxy to see the truth for itself. And now, as the council collapsed, the next day, no war, no bombs, just shame across the galaxy. Something new began to rise. Not a new council, not an empire. A warning, an understanding, a quiet law, written in fear and fire, never touch Earth again. Not because of weapons, not because of numbers, but because of what humans did. When they were betrayed, and how far they would go to bring balance, Earth never claimed a throne. never planted a flag, never demanded control. It didn't need to, because now, when any species looked at the stars, they didn't think of the Council. They thought of Earth. And what happens when silence meets justice? The galaxy was quiet now. No more council meetings. No more threats. No more mocking laughter about Earth. But peace had not returned. It had been replaced by fear. Fear of Earth's ships. Fear of Earth's silence. And most of all, fear of what? Earth had not used yet, because hidden deep beneath Neptune's largest moon. Something still waited. A project never spoken of. A name never confirmed, but it had one purpose. Extinction Protocol. The humans never explained what it was. They never warned. They never showed it. But across the galaxy, whispers began. A black AI core had gone active, buried in the ice for 30 years, linked to machines far larger than ship's machines that could move planets. Some believed it was just a defense system. Others believed it was something worse, a weapon not to win a war, but to end civilizations. The first test came without warning. Not on a battlefield, not in Zarlan space, but on an old, empty moon once used by pirates. There were no people, no ships, just rock then, from nowhere. It vanished. Scanners showed no explosion, no impact. It had simply disappeared from reality, as if the moon had never been there. And 2 hours later, a single message appeared. System test complete. Now the truth could not be ignored. Earth had moved beyond war. It had built something no species had ever dared create, a machine that didn't conquer, didn't invade, didn't even fight. It simply chose who should exist and remove the rest. The galaxy gave it a name, the Cleaner, but Earth called it only what it was, Extinction Protocol. The protocol did not run on orders. It ran on logic, on justice, on data. Every species, every system, every leader was scanned. Were they silent when Earth's envoy was murdered? Did they hide the truth? Did they profit? If yes, add it to the list, and when the list reached 100 names, the protocol activated. Across council space, 17 planets lost contact in a single night. No explosions. No war. Just blackouts. And silence. Scouts sent to investigate found nothing. Not ruins. Not rubble. Not even dust. Just empty space. The planets were deleted. Earth did not respond to questions. It didn't send messages, but one phrase kept appearing. In every system hit, balance must be restored. No one could stop it, no fleet could find it, no hacker could break it, because the Extinction Protocol was not a weapon. It was a decision made long ago. The panic became total species that had once ruled for centuries. Begged Earth for mercy. They offered resources. They offered technology. Some even offered their own leaders in exchange for safety. But Earth did not reply. Because Earth had already judged, then came a turning point. A small planet called Neller 3. Once known for helping hide Zarlan's secrets, tried something desperate. They sent a bomb toward Earth's edge, a final act of defiance, but it never arrived. Instead, Neller 3 vanished from its star map. No warning, no delay, just one clean removal followed. By a message. Attempted deception. Judgment final. And still, Earth did not celebrate. There were no broadcasts, no banners, no heroes, only the quiet hum of machines. Only the silent watch of black ships. Floating in the void. But not everything was destroyed. Not every species was erased. Because Earth's judgment was not blind. It was precise. Some species were left alone. Why? Because when Callan was killed, they had spoken out. They had sent warnings, tried to help, tried to tell the truth, and the protocol remembered that. On those planets, Earth left a different kind of message. You saw what was wrong. And you acted, we remember. For the first time, these species felt hope, because now they understood. This was never about revenge. This was about memory. Earth did not forget. And Earth did not forgive Isoli. The protocol's final task was not destruction, it was prevention. Earth sent a final message into the stars. The protocol will sleep now. But if balance is broken again, we will not warn twice. And with that extinction protocol went dark. Not dead, not dismantled, just watching, waiting across the galaxy. Survivors rebuilt their worlds. But now every speech began with caution. Every law was passed with care. Every leader remembered Earth's silence, because the galaxy had learned a lesson. Too late, never betray those who come in peace. Never mistake silence for weakness. Never forget what humans can become. When justice fails, the galaxy had changed. The mighty council was gone. The proud Zarlan, species erased. Worlds once filled with light now floated empty, and Earth had returned to silence. No fleets seen, no words spoken, no signs of movement, but everyone still felt them dash, watching in every corner of space. Leaders whispered behind closed doors. They didn't ask if Earth would strike again. They asked, what? If they already are. No star system felt safe. No colony dared speak against Earth. No species wanted to be the next lesson, because the galaxy now understood. Earth doesn't send armies. Earth sends silence. And then, nothing. On peaceful planets, children learned a new story. Not of heroes. Not of wars, but of Callan the ambassador who went alone and never came back. They called him the man who changed the galaxy. Some built statues, others prayed, and every statue had the same words carved beneath it. We watched. Earth remembered. Meanwhile, on Earth, life returned to normal. Cities healed. Skies were clean. Factories shut down. Humans didn't celebrate. They didn't want thanks. They didn't want power. They wanted one thing: to never be ignored again. And now, they never would be, in orbit around Neptune. The extinction protocol had gone silent. The black machines slept, but they were never shut off. They were waiting, watching, scanning, and deep inside. The AI core, a single line of code, glowed in the darkness. Memory is protection. Years passed, galaxies shifted. New species rose, but Earth remained unchanged. It didn't rejoin the new peace councils. It didn't attend summits. It didn't trade. It didn't need to. Because now, Earth's presence was not measured by words. It was measured by fear. 1,000 systems were rebuilt. But no one dared build near Earth space. The solar system became known as the Silent Zone. Not because Earth threatened it, but because no one wanted to wake the silence then. One day something strange happened. A small refugee ship, damaged and lost, drifted into Earth space. No shields, no weapons. Just civilians. Fleeing a war far away, the galaxy held its breath. Would Earth destroy them? Would the black ships appear? But instead, Earth opened a signal. Simple, clear, you are safe. The refugee ship was guided in, given food, medicine, help, then released. No message, no demand, just a quiet act of mercy. The story spread across. Stars like fire? Earth was not a monster. It was a mirror. A mirror of the galaxy's silence when Callan died. A mirror of the Council's betrayal. A mirror that reminded everyone you chose what Earth became. Now, when wars began, they ended quickly, not because of treaties, but because of a shared fear. What if Earth is watching? And they were always in the end. Earth never ruled the stars. It never built an empire. But it did something greater. It became a memory. A name written in history. Not with pride, but with weight. A reminder carved into every system there is. A price for silence. Centuries later, when new civilizations rose, they studied Earth's actions. Some called it justice. Some called it vengeance. But none called it weakness. Because in a galaxy full of noise, war, and betrayal, Earth did not shout, Earth did not beg, Earth did not forget, and so the galaxy watched in silence. Earth avenged its fallen envoy with extinction, and it never forgot the lesson ever again.